Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes.
Hey guys, Amber here with the Meeple family, and today we are going to be learning how to play a Goofy movie game. This game plays 2 to 4 players, and the recommended age is 7+. Let's get started with game setup. The back side of the game board is actually a Powerline concert poster, while the other side is going to give us our start location and end location for the concert. In the game, you're going to find 6 of these bonus tokens. Go ahead and give them a good shuffle, and make sure the question mark is face up. There's 3 places on the game board that we're going to need to put these bonus tiles. And these are depicted with the same shape as our bonus tile. So you're going to go ahead and put 2 on each of the 3 spaces on the game board. Now it's time to set up our scrapbook cards. Go ahead and give these a good shuffle and place the deck on the scrapbook card location of the board. Fill each of the 4 spaces on the board with a face-up scrapbook card. Now we're going to place our Goofy and Powerline characters. Go ahead and place Goofy on the leftmost Goofy space at the top of the board. Now Powerline is going to go on the rightmost Powerline space by the bus at the bottom of the board. Now you can select your character card. There are 4 different characters in the Goofy movie board game. Each player will need their 12 character cards, a reference card, and of course, their character. Each character is going to need to go on the start location of the game board. Be sure to shuffle your character deck, and to get started, draw 4 cards. Now, of course, you may look at your cards, but you're gonna wanna keep them secret from other players. The objective of the game is to get our characters from our starting location all the way to the Los Angeles Powerline concert. The sooner we get there, the better seats we can get for the concert, and the more points we're gonna score. On our journey from our home to the concert, we're gonna be collecting scrapbook cards. Each card type is going to have its own regulations to score points. The more scrapbook cards you collect along the way, the higher end score you may have at the end of the game. Let's look at how the game plays. Each player will choose 1 card from their hand and play it in front of them face down. Everyone will then reveal their cards at the same time. Once all players have revealed the character card they chose to play, we will then collect our colored scrapbook cards. The player who played the highest number of each color takes the scrapbook card from the matching color slot. So for instance here, this player is the only green player, so they will immediately get this colored card. Same goes for orange. They are the only player that played to this color, so they'll immediately get this card. Lastly, we have pink. Unfortunately, 2 players played to this color, and only the highest player will get the scrapbook card. We can then refill the scrapbook cards. Now it's time to move. Using the same cards we selected for the first round, we will now look at movement order. Movement order goes from lowest to highest. Each player moves 1 or 2 spaces as noted at the bottom of their card. For example, this character is able to move 1 or 2 spaces. And because they're the lowest number, they'll get to move first. Now there's 3 different spaces you may encounter on the game board. The first are these colored push pins. If you land on a colored pin, you'll simply collect the scrapbook card from the matching color slot and refill it. If you land on a die space, as my character has, you're gonna roll the die that comes with the game. On the die space, you will see 2 different icons. One is going to have us move Powerline, while the other is going to have us collect a card from the Goofy space and move Goofy. For instance, if I roll this, I would need to move Powerline 2 spaces and take the Goofy action. In order to take the Goofy action, I'll simply collect the scrapbook card from Goofy's slot and refill it. Then I will move Goofy to his next space. The last space you may encounter are these bonus spaces. If you land on a bonus space, secretly look at the bonus tokens on that space. Choose 1 to collect and return any remaining tokens face down. Once all bonus tokens on a space are gone, you'll simply treat the bonus space as a dice space. Bonus tokens can help you earn additional points at endgame scoring. Once all players have moved, each player will simply discard the card they played into a personal discard pile, and and draw another card to replenish to 4 cards in hand. Gameplay will continue just like this until either Powerline reaches Los Angeles or the scrapbook deck runs out. Now let's talk about a couple scenarios that may come up when we're moving our characters. When it comes time to move, if players have played the same number, like we see here, in order to break this tie and determine who gets to move first, the tied players are going to move in order of color slots on the board. So it would first be pink, then orange, and lastly, green. Now, characters cannot land in the same spaces. So if I need to move my character 1 space, but someone is blocking my path, I'll simply skip over them and go to the next space. And a scenario may even come up where you need to skip over multiple characters in order to perform your move. Now let's take a look at what happens when we need to move one of our characters into Los Angeles. You're simply gonna place your character in one of the empty slots available. Each seat at the concert is worth points, and the better the seat you get, the more points it's gonna score. Now, once your character is in Los Angeles at the concert, they're no longer going to move, but they can continue to play and collect cards as usual. Instead of moving each round, they will instead roll the die. Now, if Powerline reaches Los Angeles, finish the current round and then play 1 final round. And of course, the player with the most points wins the game. Let's quickly take a look at some of the scrapbook cards to understand how scoring and card collection works in this game. One card type you may see is the cactus. Each cactus card scores 1 point, and the player with the most cactus cards breaks all other scoring ties in their favor. Next up is the camera. The player with the most camera cards scores 2 points for each of their camera cards. All other players score 1 point for each. You also may encounter the microphone. The player with the most microphone cards scores 5 points. The player with the second most scores 3 points. Next up is the fishing pole. Each set of 2 fishing pole cards scores you 3 points. It wouldn't be a road trip without a car. Each set of 3 car cards scores you 6 points. In addition to collecting our scrapbook cards, don't forget, you may have the opportunity to also collect these bonus tokens, which will also give you some bonus endgame scoring points. And that's a quick look at how to play a Goofy movie game.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes.